Hello everybody, we are those box boys.
We got boxes on our heads and we like to make a noise.
We made some stupid sketches and recorded them fast. And put them all together into this podcast.
Hello, I'm Terry.
And I'm Scott.
And together we are
Pub Mythbusters.
Go on, Scott, do the jingle, lad.
Alright, this week we have for you a rap version.
Hey.
It's, here we go. Too hot to handle, too cold to hold. We are the Mythbusters. It doesn't rhyme.
Nah,
It doesn't rhyme.
doesn't work that one. I have to agree with you there, Scott.
Fair enough.
Anyway, moving on with the show, right? We've got a letter here from Mrs. Eve Dangermouse from Tickle. She writes, Dear Terry and Scott, I have recently read about a theory that Sir Paul McCartney actually died in a car accident in 1966 and was replaced by a lookalike. So what I'd like to know is, what do the Pub Mythbusters make of all this?
Good question, eh?
Yeah. Well, of course, Eve, that's absolute horse shit. He didn't die.
Well, I'm going to have to stop you there, Terry, because I know for a fact,
Oh, God, here we go again.
that this is horseshit.
Oh, aye.
Yep, it's horseshit.
Excellent, so we agree for once on something that's smashing.
Absolutely. He didn't die in a car accident.
Exactly. Of course, he did not.
Right, he
Oh, shit.
spontaneously combusted while singing Hey Jude in Ipswich.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, that's right. It's when he got to the 53rd na 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 that they told him not to do so many. They told him not to do so many na 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 nas. But Paul, always the crowd pleaser.
Always.
He wouldn't listen, would he? He wouldn't know. He ploughed on with his na 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 nas until the 53rd one. He just exploded, man. It wasn't na 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 na. It was more like na 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 boom.
Boom.
Awful bloody mess. Beatles passed it off as a special effect, but the crowd loved it. Cheered for an hour. No encore though. Not without Paul. No.
He was dead, wasn't he?
So of course the Beatles couldn't leave it there, could they? No. How could they find a replacement for Paul? So what they did was they arranged some super secret clandestine auditions for a replacement lookalike singer and bass player. Now, it was all very hush like. Oh yeah, you had to bring your own bass, mind. Good one had to be proper shiny and have all the strings and all that. So, after some intense competition in the preliminary heats, the competitors had been reduced to just three people. Number one, President John F. Kennedy.
Whoa, I'll stop you right there. He was dead by then.
No, he'd faked his death just 3 years earlier to play tambourine for the Beach Boys. And then number two was Gort, a shape-shifting alien from the planet Zag. Yeah, he'd just finished touring Northern Europe, playing both of the Everly Brothers simultaneously.
Both of them.
Yeah, he's magic, man, I'm telling you. But then the eventual winner was decided in a vote by the Pope, the Dalai Lama, and Richard Burton. And the winner was the third candidate, who was none other than me.
You.
Yep, I was Paul McCartney between...
Horsey shit.
No, I was Paul McCartney between the years of 1966 and 1969.
No way, not possible, mate.
Yeah, I had to learn all the songs. There was hundreds of them, and the bass lines, and then there was the sideburns as well. I couldn't bloody stand them. Plus, I had to pretend I was vegetarian. I had sausages hidden all over the house, man.
But wait a minute, Scott, mate. You weren't even born till 1971.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, well, luckily, this was all made possible by a chance encounter one afternoon in this very pub. You had just walked out on the podcast for the 15th time.
Horse shit.
Yeah, that was it. And I was sitting in the corner over there, finishing off my prawn cocktail crunchy snacks and a pint of Watney's ale. And that's when he appeared.
All right, don't tell me. Dr. Bloody Who, wasn't it?
Nah, don't be daft, man. Doctor Who, no. It was a time-travelling pig.
What?
Yeah, it was a pig, man. He travels through time. He's amazing. He appeared out of nowhere. You should meet him, man. He usually comes in around now.
Nah, that is absolute horse shit. That's the biggest steaming pile of horse shit that you've ever brought on our little podcast, Pub Mythbusters here, mate. One thing, you're not even left-handed, mate. And aliens and a time-travelling pig, dead present. Oh shit! Nah, I'm done.
Come
I've
on,
done
Teddy, man.
14. No more. I'm out of here.
Come on, Teddy.
No, wait. Oh shit!
Alright, we'll go. We'll go. Okay.
Where the heck are we now, Paul?
Well, let's take a look, Cletus. I'd say, judging by this here tepid beer, the overpriced snacks and poor quality of the service, I'd say we're somewhere in the England.
That's right, Paul. And there's a lady over there wearing jeggings and a Primark Taylor Swift t-shirt. So I'd say it might be the year 2000. And hey, Paul, there's that pig.
Get him!
But wait just a minute, ladies and gentlemen. It seems that the hatch on this spacecraft is opening. My goodness, it's emerging from the ship. This two-headed creature from beyond the stars. Yes, and it looks like it's about to speak.
We have come to visit you in peace and goodwill.
And there is something that we must tell you. Yes, we have a message for Mr. Giorgio Tsoukalos.
Yes, it wasn't us.
Okay, so, Gort, are we done here? I mean, is there anything further you'd like to add? Can we just go back inside now?
No, I've got nothing to add, really. I think I'm okay. I don't feel angry at all. Thank you.
Okay, well done, Gort. We've come a long way since Ursa -7. Well done, Gort. Well done.
Wait, just 1 second. Would it be okay if God destroyed humankind just one more time? But this time, just for fun?
You know what, Gort? Knock yourself out. As long as it's not in anger.
Oh, thank you. Humans must pay! Humans must pay now! Oh, it's true. Look at me. I'm not angry at all.
You played it for her, you can play it for me. But I don't think I can remember. If she can stand it, I can. Play it, Sam.
Big Mac. Big Mac. Oh. Home of the Whopper. Oh. Big Mac, home of the Whopper, Big Mac, home of the Whopper, Big Mac, home of the Whopper. Would you like fries with that? Would you like fries? No. Timothy Dalton, no. George Lazenby. Yes.
You know what, Sam? I always like to break dance during that song.
Okay, guys, if we could just all, settle down, okay? Alright, as you all know, we've hit a bit of a dead end with regards to the serial murder case that the press are now referring to as the Electric Swan Botherer. So, in response to this, we have invited some experts from the Department of Criminal Psychological Profiling and Scientific Investigation for Serial Killers and Related Murder Crimes Department.
That's right. You may know us as the DCPPSISKRMCD
Department.
Department. This is Inspector Levitt, and I am Chief Inspector Butler. And we are honored to be invited here to work with the Police Department of Cincinnati. Wyoming. We just flown down on a very expensive flight from DC, although my seat was even more expensive than Inspector Levitt's. It had in-flight paper shredding and everything. Now obviously we've both been studying your case details all night in order to get up to speed, so let's quickly run over the facts. As we all know, this killer has already claimed 7 victims. 48 victims.
News just in. 48 and a half.
48 and a midget?
Midget.
I'm sure you're all aware that the labs have confirmed that the weapon has always been the same. A rolled up newspaper.
A remote-controlled ostrich.
The ostrich thing. It was powered by AAA batteries.
Shame.
It certainly is.
No, I mean it's powered by a sense of shame.
Really? Weird.
Yep, it certainly is.
And as we now know, the murderer had some special trademarks. When we removed their bladder... Hat, we found a message.
A chessboard,
obviously. The facts are clear. Now our job is to provide expert psychological profiling of this criminal. We can achieve this using our expertise, our experience, and most importantly, the most advanced state-of-the-art psychological profiling software available to mankind. And here it is.
Which Stephen King character are you?
That's right. I guessed the clown guy or maybe the killer car.
Christine.
It was a lady car?
That's correct.
Really? Just goes to show. Anyways, we ran through a series of carefully chosen questions and answered them according to how we feel the perpetrator would have reacted, regardless of their sex, their fuel injection, or their circus training.
That's correct. We really had to get into the complete mindset of a serial assassin. So first we had to choose a color. We considered the red, because, it looks kind of angry. But then we thought, brown. Because Butler once pooped his pants during Salem's Lot.
I was 6 years old.
Yeah, but it was like, an omen.
Which is not a Stephen King novel.
Correct. But it is a good one. Next, we had to choose a social status. So we went for the cool one. Because everybody wants to be cool, even killers.
And cars.
I guess. The next question was a biggie. We had to choose whether we wanted to be a man or a lady.
Whether the killer was a man or a lady.
Right, not us. We never got to choose.
No, not nowadays.
Yeah, well, them's the breaks. So we went for being a guy.
Yeah, just because it's socially acceptable, I guess.
Next, name something you hate.
Werewolves, no brainer.
No brainer. Nobody likes werewolves. Not even werewolves.
Or cars.
I guess.
Anyway, we don't want to get bogged down in technicalities, but by the time we'd chosen a Halloween costume and admitted to crying on a daily basis, we'd finally got our answers.
Jack Torrance. Here's Johnny. You are the cool kid. Everyone wants to be friends with you, even though you go a little crazy sometimes.
See, this system is foolproof. Ladies, gentlemen, this is our killer.
And just to make it clear, to make it absolutely clear, we're not saying that the killer is Jack Nicholson.
Or his car, but neither are we ruling that out.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna have to stop you right there, because there's news just in. Apparently, the CSI guys have cracked the case. Yep. No, they have definitive proof that the killer was none other than Robert Duvall's skateboard.
Robert Duvall's skateboard.
I didn't even see that one coming.
Neither did the victims.
Right, so we call it a draw?
And so, I conclude it is with this groundbreaking methodology that I believe we can now perform human heart transplants with high precision, efficacy, and safety. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Wolfgang Strum. This has been an absolutely fascinating symposium. It's an absolute privilege for the American Council of Heart Surgeons to have you here today. Now, I'm sure all of the doctors gathered here right now are simply astounded by the presentation. I was wondering if I might open up the floor to allow some of our colleagues to field any questions or queries they may have regarding your new procedures.
Well, of course, I'd be delighted.
Okay, does anyone have a question for Dr. Strum? Okay, good. We have a question here from Dr. Bungalow. Bungaloff. It's pronounced Bungaloff. Okay, doctor, and what is your question for Dr. Strum? Okay, doctor, in your presentation you say that you would recommend an injection of 2.7 mils of lithium directly into the patient's aorta at the very beginning of the procedure. But if you want to keep the patient's heart functioning with regular rhythm while also maintain the correct body temperature without risking any coagulation, surely 2.3 mils would be a more appropriate amount.
Well, Dr. Bungalow?
Bungaloff. It's pronounced Bungaloff.
Well, Dr. Bungalow, I think you'll find that I reach these figures with the utmost scientific rigor.
Oh, I'm a clever doctor. Look at me with my funny accent. Oh, I come all the way over here from Switzerland to do a presentation at a symposium. I'm so clever. Oh, look at me with my beard and my glasses. Ooh, you little asshole.
Well, I have never been so insulted in my life. Dr. Bungalow, I have only one thing to say to you, sir. Oh, look at me. I'm a bungy love surgeon. Look at me with my big American heat. I'm sitting in my chair.
Look at me all the way here from Switzerland
look at me.
with my little pocket knife with the spanner and the spoon. I'm so intelligent. I'm cleverer than you are, you silly little American fool. My country's peaceful. You are dropping ban. Oh, fuck you. I'm so handsome. Stoomy poomy foomy stoom boom boom.
Hello, I'm Professor Edward Bummington Adams,
And I'm Professor Adam Bumwoods Eddington.
and this is
Science 2000. My goodness, Professor. If you don't mind me saying so, you are looking awfully peaky this morning.
That's because I've been up all night performing all sorts of scientific experiments.
Experiments, Professor?
Yes, I've recently discovered a sort of scientific gentleman's club near Old Compson Street.
A club, Professor?
That's right, and for a fee of about £25, they'll give you a really good, science thing, I can tell you.
Well, Professor, that all sounds very scientific indeed, but tell me, Professor, what is that creature you have there?
Why, this little chap, he's a member of the genus Canis. That's right, he's a little Dalmatian puppy and ever so cute.
He certainly is very cute, Professor, but I can't help but thinking that he's looking a bit, agitated.
And he has every right to be agitated, Professor, because for the last 48 hours I've been feeding this little fellow nothing but rotten oatmeal cereal, pickled gherkins, and raw Chinese cabbage leaves.
Goodness me, Professor! Why on earth would you do that?
Well, Professor, I'm glad you asked, because it all forms part of a very, very scientific experiment. And if you look over here, judging by his increasingly twitchy anus, I'd say this experiment is about to see some results. So, if we put this little puppy down round about here, and if you can position the recording device, well, round about here, then wait for it. Hey! Oh, now that's breaking news.
I have fries with that one.
Do I get 3 wishes?
Where's the beef? Ah, there it is.
High five, Professor Bumwoods Eddington.
High five, Professor Bummington Adams.
And remember, folks,
That's science.
Simon and Garfunkel.
Jam Detectives.
It was another quiet day in the office of Simon and Garfunkel, Jam Detectives. Our music industry days seem far behind us now. Nobody wanted to hear about 50 ways to leave their lover anymore. Nowadays it was all Latino guys singing about leaving all kinds of stuff. Enrique Iglesias was singing about 60 ways to leave the restroom in Starbucks. Ricky Martin was singing about 80 ways to leave Bangkok without being traced by Interpol. And Mark Anthony, he's singing about how to leave a religious cult that worships a cartoon rabbit.
And, how many ways are there to leave them?
I think he's still working on it, Artie. Okay, Artie, there's something we've got to talk about. Since we set up this detective agency, an agency that we decided would be strictly dedicated to jam-related cases. Do you know how long it's been, Artie?
No, I don't know.
It's been 2 years now, Artie. 2 long years. And do you know how many cases we've taken on in that time?
Well,
I mean, roughly. Roughly.
It's none, isn't it?
Roughly speaking, none. That's right. So maybe, Artie, it's time to get my old guitar back from the pawn shop and we'll get the band back together. It was then that she came into the office. And what a pair of legs she had. Boy, I thought, where did she get those legs from? The leg store, I guess. Those are the type of legs that wouldn't come cheap. Unless it was in the January sales and it had been a particularly poor year for leg retail generally. You could maybe get up to 30% off in those kinds of circumstances. It always pays to wait for the sales. Unless of course you need the legs urgently. Or maybe they came pre-installed somehow. Who knew? Not me. I needed to learn more about legs. Make a note of that, Artie.
Legs.
Right, legs.
So if you've finished with your legs monologue, I'll get straight to the point.
Sorry, right.
I need you to investigate a robbery. Someone entered my shop last night and has stolen 500 of my most expensive condiments.
Right. So, let me guess. More damn marmalade thefts.
No, it was jam.
Jam? Artie, jam! Artie, you're quiet today, Artie. What? It's jam.
It was 500 jars of handmade Peruvian jam from the plains of Machu Picchu, worth a fortune.
Boy, that's a lot of jam. Right, Artie?
And I heard the thief's voice. He had a very distinctive voice. He kept saying the word jam.
Who wouldn't? We love saying the word jam, don't we, Artie? Here it is. Jam, all day long. Jam, jammy jam, jam. Hey, Artie, last week we must have said the word jam like 1,000 times. Right, Artie? Jam.
Oh, jam, for the love of God. Jam.
That's it. That was the voice.
My God. Artie?
Yeah, it was me.
But why, Artie? Why?
You should have seen it, Paulie. You can't even imagine. The most beautiful jam you've ever seen. Hand-picked Peruvian apricots. The jars were crystalline clear with those shiny gold tops shimmering in the August moonlight of the Fairwax Jam Store window display. I ain't had a good pot of jam in so long, Paulie. Maybe not since our last gold record. What's the point in being a jam detective who can't even remember the taste of real jam? I couldn't take no more, Paulie, but now you got me. You got me good.
I'm sorry, Artie. You know the rules. It's time to go, buddy.
Jam?
It's funny how things turn out. It's like I always said. Life is a bucket of jam with barbed wire handles, and sometimes even the good guys can get snagged.
Simon and Garfunkel, Jam Detectives.
Those Fox Boys.